In Matthew 6, Jesus is doing some teaching about prayer, and he talks actually about fasting. He says, when you fast, don't fast like the hypocrites do. I was doing some thinking about fasting, and my first thought goes to when Jesus was fasting for 40 days in the wilderness right before Satan tempted him. And I don't know if you remember, but Satan tempts Jesus. In his first temptation, Jesus responds by quoting scripture from Deuteronomy. And he says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. That's actually from Deuteronomy chapter 8. And I thought these verses were very important. The word says in verse 2, you shall remember the whole way that the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness, that he might humble you, testing you to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. And he humbled you and let you hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. This whole passage, this whole thought that Jesus is teaching us in fasting is to learn dependency. The whole thing about manna in the wilderness for 40 years, God was providing his people the food that they needed for every day. And every day they had to wake up totally dependent on God. And that's the point of fasting, is to put ourselves in a position where we need God. When you fast, you deprive your body of food or something else that you think you need. And it's in those moments that you discover God is really all you need.